Hello, my name is Mireia Abert, and if you're watching this video, it is because it's time for you to get to know a little bit more of my Meet the Glove project. As it is related to the place I was doing my trainship in, no one better than them could welcome you to our school.
Welcome to the International School of Vantaa.
Si estàs a la lluna i a la fosca tot d'una vols viatjar cap a un altre món. Tens ganes de viure una experiència increïble i poder explicar-la a tothom. Agafa'm la mà, que et portaré a les estrelles. Aquesta és la història d'un príncep petit que és més gran del que esperes.
I'm Mireia Nevado. I'm the student counselor of the school, the International School of Vantaa. I've been working as a student counselor for 7 years, I think, yes. And I take care of students from 7th, 8th and 9th grade in 3 different kind of fields. The personal field, into the social field, and as well into the academic.
As a teacher, which characteristics or features do you think a space should have for a lesson to be carried out?
I think a space should be a place where a teacher can establish connection with the students. That's the first characteristic. A place doesn't need to be quiet, or it doesn't need to be a certain amount of meters. It needs to be a place where learning takes place. So it doesn't need to be something very concrete. It can be adapted depending on the time where the teaching learning takes place.
It's like any place could be.
Any place can be a good space. Exactly, any place can be a good space for teaching if it's in the right time.
So, like for example, science, it's most of it we learn outside, like of the weather there, and also like the plants there, and the animals there. So we sometimes go outside there.
I'm usually assigned for every class. For every lesson I'm supposed to teach, I'm assigned certain classroom, but I usually, very often, let's put it that way, very often I don't use it. I rather go around in the school. Sometimes I ask the students what do they want to do. Do they feel like going outside? For example, if there's good weather, we might go to the field, or we may go to the benches, or we might go to the mall next to the school. It depends. I don't like to sit up in the chairs by the tables. We are usually either on the floor in a corner of the classroom, or in the corner of the corridor, or in the middle of the corridor, or in the gym. It depends.
How do you think spaces can benefit children's learning process?
I mean, the same way that we have very many different types of spaces, as we were talking before, I think there is also people are different in terms of learning. Students are different. They have different needs, and to be able to adapt the spaces to the needs of the students, it can be very beneficial. For example, not everybody is feeling comfortable by sitting and looking forward and having a frontal lesson. So if it makes a difference that rather than sitting on a chair, you would be in a corner or on the floor, or there's students that prefer to lay down on the floor while discussing something. So I think in that case it relaxes the atmosphere. But at the same time, it can bring up for some of them the kind of a pressure to adapt to the space. Not for everyone it's easy to just adapt. But once they are used to it, to find different spaces, it's usually good.
Do you think it motivates them more?
It could. And sometimes just to change spaces, physical locations, it allows this, I want to know what are we doing now, rather than if we would be sitting in the class. And you can do exact same things, but the fact that you're doing it outside from the classroom, or in a location that is not evident, it allows that you have this connection, and therefore learning kind of, I wouldn't say improves, but they're more motivated.
Hi, we're gonna take you to the woodwork room. So it's not in our classroom area. Our classroom is there, and the woodwork room is downstairs. So let's go.
You could go back using.
Finland has very much wood because and there's lots of like forests and other things.
Because
Why are the doors locked?
because then no one can come in. Or for example, if there's a thief and no one knows, so anyone can come in. Hello. Hi.
Welcome
So-
to the wood.
So this is the woodwork room.
Hello.
These are our classmates. So this is the woodwork room, and that's our teacher, Mr. Evans.
Oh.
Yay!
We do good work.
So right now our project and our project is to make a toolbox. So there's like you see there's wood over there a lot, and then there's a machine to cut out the wood.
les persones grans perquè sovint obliden el que és important. Només s'hi veu bé amb el cor, els ulls no veuen l'essencial. No hi ha ningú en el món així d'especial. És el petit príncep. Diu el que pensa tal com raja, no li fa por res. Ha conegut molts llunyans viatjant per l'univers. Sempre endavant, va preguntant. Ell vol entendre aquest món sovint tan complicat. I aprenent dels seus amics, va sentint les emocions.
Hola,
Hola.
¿tienes un minuto?
Sí.
¿Nos explicas qué estás haciendo?
Pues estamos haciendo como una figurita de madera para ponerlo en tu collar de llaves, donde llevas las llaves. Y es como, tienes que hacer una figurita, lo que quieras, un plato inicial, una cosa que te guste, la luna, una estrella.
¿Te parece distinto del colegio que antes ibas tú en Madrid?
Sí,
qué?
muchísimo. Porque no teníamos esto, y esto es muy divertido.
I el petit príncep volant va descobrint el món i fa nous amics a ritme de cançons i no li agraden gaire les persones grans perquè sovint obliden el que és important. Només s'hi veu bé amb el cor, els ulls no veuen l'essencial. No hi ha ningú en el món així d'especial. És el petit príncep.
Apart from these specific areas in which some lessons are carried out, there are also some other common or shared spaces as well in where students are allowed to go and do their projects, homework, or whatever kind of task they are asked to do during the lesson. That means that they are able to go almost everywhere in the school if they feel they are going to be more comfortable when doing the tasks they've been requested.
You mentioned you've been working here for some years now.
Yes.
Like, have you noticed some kind of improvement or like evolution in students since teachers have been using different spaces at school? Because
yes,
they weren't, right?
Yeah, before there used to be very much frontal teaching, at least when I started, and it also went on with the curriculum. We have always been kind of supported so that we would kind of think out of the box and try new things. But nowadays with the new curriculum even more, and yes, we see a difference. We see a difference in terms of motivation. We see a difference in terms of students that would have difficulties in concentrating and in doing things. They might be more active and more focused. Of course, it's not the solution for all the problems, but it brings some spice into
So
this.
you're not the only teacher who does this.
No,
I mean-
no. For example, the PE teacher, as I said before, would keep lessons indoors because the gym is we have a problem of space, and this means that our school has grown too much in number of students if we compare it to the amount of space we've been having. So then that means that the PE teacher does not always have the gym available. And this means that if there's no gym, kind of invent. And invent means find another way to have the lesson. Then, for example, there's some elementary classroom teachers that have a lot of lessons outside as well. The English teacher uses very much the corridors or the halls as well. We also have several rooms that are, or tiny spaces that are kind of a bit more cozy, close,
Okay.
small. And sometimes students ask, can I please go there to do my work? For the math, the same. The teacher gives the exercises, says, okay, now we're going to work about this and this, and then everybody spreads around.
Do you find it useful to use a library instead of class?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is much more peacefuler here than in the class, because in the class there's so much noise. In the library we can do this, and there's almost no noise here. So.
As the conclusion of the project, we can say that there are several spaces where students can learn, observe, analyze, work, collaborate, do projects, and more other tasks that don't necessarily have to be the specific class in where they are assigned to go. All the school has the facilities that they need, so there are no limitations when choosing a space to go to. What really matters here is that the student feels comfortable enough to focus on their objectives.
I el petit príncep volant va descobrint el món i fa nous amics.